Hey everybody, welcome to Geek Rant. It's Greg here again with Toby, and today we're going to be talking about Willow, the new TV series trailer.
There is a story.
Ooh, there's a story.
Of a child destined
Looks
to be
good.
an empress. And the unlikely hero who would protect her.
Oh,
He doesn't look too bad, actually. He doesn't look too bad.
looks alright.
There is a balance
Oh,
between all
is that
things.
Saoirse?
Ah.
That's Saoirse.
Yeah.
Light and
Oh.
shadow. Good and evil.
Wow. Oh,
When that balance is
Yeah.
upset, the universe
she's
corrects.
getting the sword out
So,
again.
what he
Oh,
killed.
look, that's the wand of Cylindria.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? That is the original fish that they cut out from the film.
The world needs you again. It needs your magic.
Oh, who's he hugging?
Wow, there's a lot going on there.
Into the unknown.
There's too many
Oh.
flashing images. Oh, look, the brownies.
That's where we
Oh,
must
yeah,
go.
unfortunately.
Oh, the music.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, right. That was a
Oh,
lot.
look,
That was a
the
lot to
music.
take on board there. Wow. They had quite a few sort of flashes, didn't they?
Yeah, there was a lot going on there. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that did go very quick. It was only 1:20.
Yeah.
I know the series is coming out a bit later in the year, but we were keen to get on this one, weren't we? Because
Yeah.
Willow was a great film we watched when we were kids.
Yeah.
Another thing that came out of George Lucas.
Yeah, his sort of story.
Yes, very
And then
underrated.
Ron Howard then directed it.
That's right, Ron Howard. It was, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah. And
1988, I think, wasn't it?
it was something like that. Yes,
Yeah.
it was late 80s, and it had Val Kilmer in it, which was he was good in as Mad Mardigan in there, and
He
sword
was.
fighting. I
He
know
was
he's
the main,
not in.
he was the main actor, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's not in this
Not
next
really.
series. In this
No.
series, is he?
No, he's very ill, isn't he?
But
So-
but I wondered. I don't know if you saw right at the beginning. There was someone who had a veil on, and I wonder could it be he died or something? And so there's maybe, or was it? It was so quick. I couldn't tell whether it was
yeah,
a person mourning or if it was someone that was a monster that was about to jump out at them or something. Yes, and the other one that I just noticed very at the beginning there was an image of the skull helmet of the general who was on the bad side.
yeah,
General Kale.
yeah.
But obviously he died in the first one. He died in the movie, didn't he? That's definitely something I'd like to. What's going on there? Are they bringing him back, or are they? Maybe it's a descendant. Maybe it's like a revenge thing. My father was killed, and I want revenge, or something. Or maybe they're doing a Disney thing, and it's going to be a woman dressed up as the.
Could be. I mean, we saw Willow,
Yes.
played by Warwick Davis, and he didn't look too bad, did he?
No.
I thought he was convincing in the sense
Yeah,
that he
yeah,
wasn't
he
too
did.
old, and it is obviously set in the future in this fantasy world.
Yes. Yeah.
And he had a staff, didn't he? I thought
That's
that was
right.
interesting. This kind of withered stick, looked a bit like Gandalf's staff,
But
but
it sort of glows green, doesn't it?
Yeah,
You
in
look
the
at little
centre.
green bit, going on.
so he's obviously made it into the Grand Wizard position, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And it has a position of authority. And they say in the text there that he has to go back. That they have to go to him to get his help.
Yeah.
So they've come to Willow to suck him in onto a mission that
Absolutely,
has a group of people.
Well, that was the thing. We didn't know what he was going to do at the end. I mean, he obviously got the end of the film, didn't he? He got given a magic book, but it was also that was the thing I always sort of thought about it. he was also a family man. You know, he wanted to go back to his village and be with his family and his kids, and very much wants to be that. You know, so I was wondering where it would go. He's obviously going to become a magic user. You know, and
but within the context of his village, wasn't he? He was going to be there, the wise person in the village, to take over from the Grand Wizard. As the apprentice.
That's true. Yeah.
So he would have been there, and maybe had like an official position within his village.
Yes, I see what you mean. Yes. Yeah.
So that would have been, in a sense, he would have then been happy. But if he does become a powerful wizard, having been exposed to all those experiences in the first film, then maybe he does take on more power, and that results in maybe a more worldly, wise type wizard who has been influenced by other powers. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, you see when they rode up at the end. There's obviously six people in this team of that go on an adventure. You know, he was very much at the end, and I hope they don't sort of push him to one side and it becomes a series about somebody else. But
it looked like quite go on.
You got to bring in new characters, though, haven't you?
And it looks like quite a diverse mix of characters.
Oh, it was. Oh, yes, they like a bit of diversity, don't they?
Yeah.
And
I mean, they had Erin Kellyman, who is playing a character called Jade, and looking at she's in Star Wars. Yeah. She's in Marvel. Yeah. Obviously, Disney really like.
Oh yeah, she's one of their go-to. Sort of actresses, isn't she?
This amazing.
She was in the Winter Soldier and the Captain America thing, Falcon thing, and I really hated her in that.
Did you?
And it's not that I don't like. She's okay, but I just didn't think she's not a terrorist sort of person. You know what I mean? She's played a terrorist a couple of times because she's in Solo as the head of that group.
That's right.
That are trying to get the train.
You see at the end, she takes the helmet off, doesn't she?
That's right, and it's reveal it's a woman, you know. And I just don't find her very convincing in that kind of role. Something else, maybe she'll be better in this. Maybe.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, I think she plays. There was her very close to another woman, wasn't there, in it? So there's a very much a sort of a sense of a girl power type dynamic going on here. There's a scene where she falls through some floorboards and she grabs onto some beams there. So she's very much, I think, going to be the action hero like she was in Captain America. Yeah. So in that.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think you get the sense there's going to be a few of them, isn't there? You know, they're all going to go on an adventure, aren't they? And that's ultimately what we like, isn't it? A bit of a get on an adventure, a quest, Tolkien, do something.
Tolkien-esque approach to things, isn't it?
Exactly.
I think there's also, I saw in it that there's a warrior, who I think falls
that bigger looking guy,
Go ahead. And I think that he has a romance with the blonde girl in it,
right?
And I think that that's going to mirror the original sort of Val Kilmer,
right? Saoirse,
Saoirse. What's her name? Joanna Wally. Kind of relationship, because I think they'll look for similar dynamics in how they do the film.
But
it's a classic thing that Disney does now.
Now, a couple of questions, right? Who's got the wand of Cylindria? Because that at the end there you didn't see. You know, it was just being held, on the camera image, and you saw Willow, didn't you?
With
going up against them,
Yeah.
So someone
that is going to be a big reveal in the next trailer. I reckon. Yeah,
and
I reckon
also, where's the Laura Dannon? Now you'd recognise her
exactly.
because the baby was like so ginger haired, it was untrue.
Well,
so
I don't know whether you know, but there were 3 books written about her adventures.
Oh, really?
After the show.
Right.
Okay. So these 3 books were out. The story outlines were written by George Lucas. And then he commissioned a writer to then write the 3. I've forgotten the name of the guy. So there are 3 tomes to draw information upon if they wanted to inject the series with that information.
I'd have to seek them out and see what they're like.
I only found out about them today, actually, when I was thinking about I was thinking about this, and I kind of thought I watched a little bit about the Willow just to sort of refresh some of the characters in my mind, and they mentioned this, and I thought, oh, maybe they might use this as source material.
Yeah,
But you can never tell with Disney because they
No.
throw things in all sorts from all directions, don't they?
yeah,
You know, the
Yeah.
spur of the moment. So yeah,
I was surprised they were doing it. You know, that it's something that was on their radar. But then I think then again I think, well, they're the kind of make the most of all their property, aren't they? You know, they bought Lucasfilm, and this is obviously one of the properties of Lucasfilm.
exactly.
So you know, I just hope there's not an Ed the Duck coming. So that's you know.
Well, I mean, I actually thought it looked pretty good.
You thought it looked all right?
Yeah.
I thought it looked very TV quality, you know, sort of set up, but they're not going to have a big budget film, you know, for this, are they? A film budget for this,
I don't
you know,
think
they'll just have, you know, a sort of pretty simple, but you know, some of the scenes looked a little bit, I don't know, it's so quick when you have a trailer that is so quick with its flashing, you know, sort of images, you're suddenly thinking, oh, it's very easy to make something look good.
Yeah. Well,
And
I mean,
being
some
so
of the
dear to my
trailers
heart.
lately have been totally hated, haven't they? Some of the the She-Hulk trailer really went down like a ton of bricks. I think you know, if they maintain the mystical nature of Willow, and remember that, what the error they may make is they may end up making something like the Shannara TV series.
Yes.
I don't know whether you watched that.
No, I watched a little bit, but I sort of didn't really.
It was just a bit too kind of plasticky, and a bit too fake. They had a really good actress in there, playing the main female lead, but the bloke they cast was really lame, and he couldn't hold it really, unfortunately, and she ended up sort of taking over. But in any case, what I mean is that there's a lesson to be learned there. That they need to look back, and they need to make sure, because the thing about Willow was it was weird and mystical, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was a fantasy, wasn't it? It was a fantasy adventure, you know, a proper, you know, just and it was good fun. You know, there was always stuff going on. It was quite, you know, they were always, you know, being chased around and having to get on to the next thing. There wasn't much of a breather or anything. It went, you know, there were some good little action sequences. It'd be nice if there were some good action sequences and some funny bits. You know, I do like some funny bits in these sorts of films. You know, Val Kilmer playing off against Willow was good. I think they probably need another character to play off Willow a little bit, and
definitely.
You know, hopefully that will be picked up.
Willow's relationship with Val Kilmer, Mad Mardigan, was the best thing in it, wasn't it? Really?
It was good.
And it looks like they brought the brownies back, which is a bit of a shame, because I think they were probably the weakest element to the first film.
I really didn't mind them in the first film, but it's like all the sort of properties they have. It's like they keep bringing C-3PO and R2-D2 back, you know, and not that I don't love R2-D2, but C-3PO, just every time I see him come on screen now, it's like, oh god, we shoehorned him in again, you know, and it's we don't need to see that anymore. No. You know, and I can see what you mean. I thought they were fine in the original film, you know. I thought that was good and a nice little element, you know. They had some funny moments in it as well, you know, and also if they got an important plot thing. If he hadn't hit Val Kilmer in the face with the love potion, he wouldn't have fallen for Sorsha, you know, and that wouldn't have sparked that whole thing.
Will they bring the love potion back? I mean, that is
who knows?
Thing.
Who knows?
I mean,
but then you don't want them to do the same stuff again. That's the problem.
Well, I know, and this is what I think happens a little bit with these things. They get a little bit desperate because the writing tends to be pretty lame, and they look back on what
they go for nostalgia, don't they? It's called Nostalgia Plus, you know, not Disney Plus, Nostalgia Plus. Everything they're trying to do is, and it's funny because I've watched a few things recently, and people have sort of said similar things. It's like they feel like they've got to explain everything that's ever happened in Star Wars, these programs, and come up with a why, or why was this? Why did Princess Leia have that gun holster? You know, it was like, we have to come up with a whole reason why for these things all the time, and it doesn't need to be explained, really. You know what I mean? It's bizarre. But they're so heavily into trying to pull people like us that watched it, in the original thing.
Nostalgia hit, because the original film didn't make a lot of money. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the original film didn't make a lot of money,
No.
and then because it made all its money through television and video releases, and apparently it made a tidy profit, but they've never released the profits for the original film.
Right.
Although Ron Howard still says that he's really kind of proud of what he did.
Yeah,
which is not surprising because it is a classic.
It is a good film. It's really enjoyable. You can watch it with your family as well, which is nice. It's got lots of good positive things about it. Definitely,
it really has. It really has. I mean, I'm just looking here. They've got John Chu or Jonathan Murray Chu to direct this particular show, and Now You See Me Too, Crazy Rich Asians, In the Heights, Step Up. All in.
Some of that's quite, adventurous and funny.
G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Oh, yeah, that's not a great one. You should take that one off the CV.
Yeah, hasn't got a lot of. Well, he's been directing since 2007, so it's a little bit more experienced, maybe than some of the new guys they've been dragging in recently.
Yeah.
But I don't see anything on there that makes me think of fantasy or.
No,
kind of. There's a little bit of sci-fi in there, kind of modern culture.
Yeah.
Step Up to Justin Bieber, Never Say Never. Dance Camp.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Gem and the Hooligans. So that's a lot of dance related videos. So maybe that's his background. Maybe he's.
Well, maybe that'll come into some sword play. Like a dance, Well, maybe they'll make it too like a dance, but then Anyway, I think it could be good fun. Could be total crap.
Well, there was one little interesting thing in there that I spotted. One of the Asian guys, he strokes the nose of the fish.
Yeah.
Now I don't know whether you know, but they cut out a scene from the original film,
right,
where Willow's crossing over to the island.
Right.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
And
he goes to get
warned not to
Brazil,
go.
and she's on that little island
that's right.
Like a
turned into the possum.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And there's a guy that warns him not to go or something like that. And then he turns into a fish and attacks Willow, this giant fish. Oh. Yeah, they cut it out completely because the animatronics at the time was slightly clunky. You should look that up. And Willow spent 2 weeks filming that.
No.
Yeah, and they didn't use it in the end. So for a Warwick Davis, and so I reckon they put that fish in as a reference to that animatronic fish.
Yeah, well,
out of the original
this is
film.
the thing. Let's stop the nostalgia. We got to stop all the too much nostalgia. It's not good.
Well, there seemed to be quite a few links to the film, didn't there? In there, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we saw
bit where you
Jonah Wally in there as well, didn't we?
It's a tricky one. You've got to have a bit because you've got to link it back to the original, but you don't want too much that it is basically a nostalgia journey. That's just I won't. Yeah. It won't be.
They're very much going for atmosphere at the moment, aren't they? So they create an atmosphere or a location or feel, and the viewer sucks that up and just enjoys being in that space. And they're kind of putting story to the back of the queue, unfortunately, which is a real shame.
Yeah,
and character. Yeah.
Anything decent about a film that you want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think with Disney, one thing we'll need to look out for is any male lead character is generally crushed underfoot for a good first.
No, come on! They built up Obi-Wan at the end there in the last series. So.
He's still a prat, wasn't he? He's telling Leia about stuff, talking to Luke. There was a whole.
He let Reva go as well, didn't he?
He let Reva go. What a Wally, eh?
He knows everything. Killer.
Jesus, that was all pretty weak. He succumbed and was really passive at the end, basically.
Yeah.
I think we'll see. I'd be really interested to see how they treat Willow's character.
Yes. Yeah.
He's become this powerful wizard. Is he going to be a prat? Is he going to have to learn lessons again? You know,
Yeah.
is this what this is going to be about again?
Yeah.
And are we predicting an arc whereby we have potentially a powerful male figure who's a bit of a prat, and then is taught a lesson and has to then
Maybe.
kind of say,
There's been a lot of
the
that
end.
theme, isn't there, in
Well,
things?
there has. It's unfortunate, really.
Yeah, it's a shame. Anyway, I think you know, that's it looks fun. It looks like
it does. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll give it a go. You know, for
I love
old
fantasy.
time's sake.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, thanks very much for watching our little review of the trailer and catching our reactions there. If you like what we're doing, obviously like and subscribe, and leave any comments if you want to join in the debate.
Please do.
Otherwise, we'll see you again next time. Thanks very much.
Thanks.